Yeah, so I am going to have a rant in this video, be warned, and it is about the code war, rugby union versus rugby league. I don't think a lot of you guys understand the extent to this war that is going on here in Australia. How absolutely crazy bad shit it's going on here, okay? And for the rest of the world who's watching this video, really, we have to protect the sport of rugby union. Otherwise, it's gone. We're going to see the scrum go. We're going to see the line out go. We're going to see the maul go. The most iconic aspect of the sport are going to be deleted because rugby league wants to homogenize the sport. Once the sports are homogenized, it gives rugby league an opportunity to expand globally and take over the sport of a rugby union as a global rugby sport. Mark my words. And this, sometimes I do wonder, the people that are proposing this sort of stuff in Australian rugby and New Zealand rugby, I do wonder if these people are actually getting paid to deliberately suggest things like removing the scrum. Because it's very, very obvious that rugby league has just tentacles reaching into all aspects of our lives here in Australia that you can't even imagine the sort of stuff that are doing behind the scenes to undermine not just the sport of rugby, to undermine everyone for their own benefits. Let me explain. So this weekend, some guy, rugby league. I don't watch rugby league, so I don't know this guy. Alex Johnston, right? Whoever this guy is, he broke the all-time try-scoring record. I don't know how much. Anyway, and this was probably something that you see. Viral moment. They manufactured this. It's not a viral moment, okay? They posted everywhere that it's $5,500 fine if you run onto the field and told everyone, do not run onto the field if he breaks the all-time try-scoring record, only for like the security guards to open up the doors when the try was scored, to literally deliberately letting everybody on because they've got the drones and cameras all set up for this photo op, right? So they manufactured this moment, and obviously, because rugby league understands how to promote their sport, unlike rugby union, they actually know how to do their jobs, right? So they manufactured this moment, great viral sensation, and everybody is trending worldwide, getting all the advertising for free, as how you're supposed to do with these things, and don't have to spend $2 million to recruit one player to get yourself trending worldwide, right? They actually did this thing where the trended world anyway, right? And someone was saying, it's actually quite funny. Someone was saying, $5,500 per person. That's like what, 10,000 people? It's like $50 million revenue. Great job, guys. Great job. But anyway, that's just a bit of a aside. The real thing that you guys need to understand as rugby union fans is how deep the rugby league's influence actually goes here in Australia. This is the Prime Minister of Australia right here. Anthony Albanese. He is supposedly a rugby Rabbitohs fan, lifelong Rabbitohs fan. Let me tell you, anyone who says that they're a lifelong Rabbitohs fan is fucking bullshitting you, okay? When I was a kid, Rabbitohs was right down at the bottom of the ladder every week, losing 50 points, 40, 50 points. They were so dire. You watch the Rabbitohs game on TV, you can literally count the number of people that is sitting there watching this game in the live stadium. Unless you are one of those people, the 300 people or whatever that's there, you are not a lifelong fan for the Rabbitohs. Because it was so bad, everybody thought it was going to go under. And then Russell Crowe took over and turned this team around. And it took years for him to actually turn the team around. So for anyone to say that I'm a diehard lifelong Rabbitohs fan, it's all fucking bullshit, okay? Fucking bullshit. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. Let's just assume that he is one of the 300 or whatever. This is the Prime Minister of Australia. Rugby league literally has support from the very top of the government. And you wonder why we're losing the war to rugby league in Australia. They literally have support from the very top of the government. And recently, Albanese, his government, has proposed to expand rugby league into the Pacific Islands. Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa, and whatnot, right? They propose to expand there They propose to spend $600 million. Actually, it's not proposed, it's already happening. $600 million over 10 years. That's $60 million a year going to the Pacific Islands to promote rugby league. Do you guys know how fucking crazy this number is? Rugby Australia and New Zealand Rugby only makes about $50 million for the Lions tour. And they literally lose money every year only for the Lions tour to come around and refill up that reserve for the next 12 years before another Lions tour comes around to keep the fucking team, to keep the organization alive. I'm not joking. That's why New Zealand Rugby had to sell out to Silver Lake, because they're running out of money. And that's only $50 million every 12 years. And the Australian government just going to throw 60 every year to the islands. So instead of getting rugby league to pay for themselves, the Australian government, you and I, Australian citizens, are paying for this. And let me tell you something as well. The government is a zero-sum game. The government themselves don't produce anything. It just redistributes wealth. And what is government supposed to do when they get money from tax? They're supposed to reinvest that money or redistribute that money so that the overall Australian public is more productive from the investments, and everybody makes more money as a cohort of Australians, and we all get better as a result. The tax is not something that we just throw away. It's supposed to be reinvested, supposed to be reworked for the Australian people and make everybody better by the end of the day. You either make the poor better, give them money to live better in a better life, or you reinvest it so that everybody is making more money from the infrastructure that you build. When you take that money and you throw it overseas, it's a zero-sum game, guys. You are getting poorer. This is why your wages hasn't been kept up with the inflation. It's a zero. When the money is gone, where's the money going to come from? When the investments domestically is lacking in terms of building the infrastructure that allows you to get a job that's going to pay you more money, when that's not being invested in domestically, you are getting poorer as a result of money getting wasted overseas like this. For what? I talked about this to some of you guys in the comments. I am all for supporting sports in Fiji, in Samoa, in Tonga. But we should do it properly, right? We should say fund the stadium with debt. You know, we issue debt for them. We lend them money to build a stadium, and then we guarantee, say, like a Wallabies match and an All Blacks match in Fiji every year for some guaranteed revenue for the stadium, and then we get a return from that. Like, that's how you should be run, not just $60 million thrown away and just disappear into thin air and nothing in return. Even if the bonds are not getting like Australian government, you know, good market yields, still, we are going to get the money back at some point, not just deleted from existence. Like, it's so crazy, guys. You guys don't understand. Things are so expensive here in Australia. I have 2 spices that I buy nowadays because everything is so fucking expensive. I have some curry powder and then I have salt. That's it. Because you buy the little bottle of whatever, it's $15. It's crazy how expensive things are. And it's expensive because the wages hasn't kept up with inflation. Because this is net zero-sum game, and the money's being fucking thrown away overseas. Being thrown to corruption here in Australia within the government. And now you might think, oh, wow, that's pretty absurd at Wildkard. This gets even worse. As a result of this, the government is also funding $150 million to grow rugby union over 5 years. $150 million over 5 years is $30 million a year. So the Australian government is giving $60 million a year to the Pacific Islands for rugby league. And as a result of counter that investment that they, to offset that, just so rugby union doesn't die in the region, they also offer to pay $30 million to support rugby union. And are you... What the fuck is going on here? Guys, what the fuck is going on here? How fucking... I can't believe the words just came out of my fucking mouth. Australian government's paying $60 million a year to grow rugby league has caused the problem that's going to kill the sport. And as a result, the Australian government's going to pay $30 million extra to grow rugby union to offset the $60 million they're paying for rugby league. Am I fucking crazy, or this is just what the fuck is going on here? Whilst I'm here, I can't even... I'm struggling to buy fucking fuel. Seriously. Anyway, if you're watching in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the rugby league, rugby union war. This is what's happening here, and it is going to affect you. So make sure, if you're in England, if you're in France, if you're in South Africa, make sure you stand up. And make sure you understand what we're actually up against. And make sure that you protect the game of rugby that you love. Anyway, let's move on. Rugby World Rankings unchanged following the week's sport, the game. Six Nations. Is it actually unchanged? Did Wales go up? No, Wales didn't actually go up. Anyway, expand the league a little bit. Oh, yeah, Wales actually didn't go up. So no changes. No changes in the... Oh, no, they did go up. Yeah, no, I thought Wales went up. Went up one after beating Italy. It was quite a, heartwarming moment. Finally, Wales has come back. After, having won a game in Six Nations, 3 years or something. They finally got one win, and this is the second win under Steve Tandy as well. He beat Japan last year. It's the second win or third win? This is the third win, actually. He beat Japan once in Japan, and then he beat Japan at home last year in November. And then this is the first game in Six Nations in 3 years. So 3 games now. Wales has won, and this is probably the first Tier 1 nation game that they won in a very, very long time. So yeah, Wales going up to 11th. Still quite a bit of a gap between Italy, and no changes for the remainder of the ladder. And obviously England came really close to beat French as well. So, just before we go on, oh boy, sometimes I'm like, oh, Rugby Australia, what is going on? How are we gonna grow the sport? I don't know what's happening. I don't know how this happened. But this guy, I don't really know this guy, but apparently he's like one of those, I don't even know which side. It's like left wing or right wing. I don't even know. He's just one of those crazy influencers that just says stupid shit to try to go viral in politics. And he basically was supporting the Iranian government, murdering the protesters. And this basically went viral, and everybody's saying that he should not have. It's basically going viral because he said that. And I cannot believe, I don't know if you can see this, he's wearing a Wallabies jersey whilst going viral for saying stupid shit, horrendous shit. I'm just first of all, I don't know who buys a Wallabies jersey. We've got jerseys that are left over still stacked up at the sporting stores here. They cannot sell them because no one buys them. And somehow this guy has one. And yeah, and it's just God, what is happening? At least they sold one jersey to someone, right? And at least they got some free advertising from that. But man, anyway, moving on. Six Nations final rounds. Yeah, so let's get back to the Six Nations. So yeah, final round. France. There was a lot of teams were supporting England, especially the Ireland supporting England. Ireland wanted England to win, and then they could have surpassed France to win the Six Nations. And then Wales wanted England to lose by big margin, so then they could have potentially given England the wooden spoon. So there was a lot of England support and interest in the performance of the England rugby team on the weekend, let's just say the least. And as a result, this was actually a really good performance by the England side. I actually felt like England won this game on paper in terms of the performance. They actually performed better than the French. And how the French won, Biel Bieri is just, I don't know, magician or something. 4 tries. I don't know how he scored 4 tries, but it's just crazy how he was able to score 4 tries. And then England rugby's goal kicking was also lacking a little bit. There were some of you guys saying Ollie Chesham, who did the intercept try, should have ran a bit closer to the goalpost, and maybe that would have been a draw. But hey, look, he's just a forward, and happy to see the try line. Don't get too upset about the fact that he didn't run an extra 5 meters to put the ball under the goalpost. But he's pretty happy to just get to the try line, and it's time for the backs to just come on backs, do your jobs and just kick the goal, please. It's literally the only thing you have to do whilst the forwards are working their heart out to secure the ball for you. So yeah, it is quite it's a really good game, but it is interesting. And also the two teams had like basically there was a color clash as well. England were wearing white and France was wearing like this baby blue color, very close to white. And from the long shot, it's literally just like white jerseys on the field. Anyway, Six Nations, boy. Oh boy, Rugby League is so gonna win this. Oh my God, Rugby League is so gonna take over the sport. But anyway, so that was a really exciting game. And then you had the Ireland versus Scotland. Scotland and Ireland head to head for the most part, and then for the Irish team to finally really pull away in the second half. Like I said, every time, and a lot of people disagree with me, the Scotland team has an issue of being consistent throughout the game and even from between games. And again, the second half, the Scotland team just completely, I think Tupulotu said it, that they lost the content, like the physical, that he is like, we lost the physical contest. And I just think that, I still think there's a culture issue for Scotland team to stay mentally composed for the entire 80 minutes. And I do think that, it was again, Ireland really had this one. There were times looking like Scotland might catch up, but Ireland really stayed ahead for the entire game. And Crowley was probably the best game I've seen since, in fact, the best fly-hard performance for the Ireland team since Johnny Sexton, to be honest. This was really promising for Crowley. And unlike the previous games where Gibson Park had to do a lot of hand-holding, Crowley really just handled himself really well. And the style that he brought as well is very Sexton-like. Some of you guys were saying, well, Crowley is better than Sexton because he runs the ball. He's better ball carrier. What I wanted to say is the way that Crowley performed on the weekend, he didn't do that much carrying, and it's very Sexton-like, and that's probably more suitable to the style of rugby that Ireland wants to play, instead of just having the 10 doing a bunch of line breaks and taking himself out of action as a result. So the style definitely is more Sexton-like, and I think he did an excellent job for the Ireland team. And finally, the watershed moment where Wales finally won a game in Six Nations, beating Italy at home, and this was a once very dominant performance by Wales. Italy was looking like maybe a bit shell-shocked for the first half, but definitely did the best they could to come back in the second half. There was a couple of missed tries for the Italians, held up, just pushed out on the try line, just inches away. If that had gone their way, the Italians may have made a comeback as well. So this was an outstanding game, outstanding performance for both teams, and I think the Welsh were very emotional after this one. So yeah, Steve Tandy was very emotional as well. So a lot of big turnaround for the Welsh, and big promising future for a lot of the youngsters coming up. So England Rugby is going to do a review this is the worst Six Nations in a very long time, and this review is going to be. This is probably. I think this is the first time England finished below Italy ever in the Six Nations, and there's going to be a review on Steve Bothwell's performance. The players has come out and basically say they support the coach. I do think this is a bad timing to get rid of him, even if they do think that he's doing a bad job. I think they just have to stick it out to the Rugby World Cup and let him run his course. And I think the worst thing England can do now is to do a Rugby Australia and fire Bothwick and make the same mistake again 4 years ago and fire Eddie Jones and brought in Bothwick, and they shouldn't. It's really bad for him to do. I'll be very surprised if they fire Bothwick. But there is some talk they want to get Andy Farrell in as the head coach, and there's a lot of push to try to get Farrell in to take the Harlequins. And I think that England Rugby might have something in mind, trying to get him into England Rugby as well. I think they will probably throw the kitchen sink at it to try to get Andy Farrell over, to be really, really frank with you, to coach the England side. So there's some talks about Andy Farrell, still not confirmed, but Andy Farrell is still hasn't talked to. I think he's prioritizing talking to Ireland first before making any commitments into any of the any future commitments to any side. For Ireland, Bellacombe, one of the upcoming players for the Six Nations tournament, is injured. He had a really good run and he's injured. I do think his defense may be a little bit improvement, but overall I thought it was offered a bit of a speed. I think that is lacking in the Ireland side. This guy James Dyson took 50% stake in Bath. Is he the guy that he's the one that makes the vacuum cleaner, is he? But anyway, I don't really know. But he's put a stake in rugby. Argentina has launched a bid for the Rugby World Cup in 2035. That'll be interesting. It'll be fun because 2031 is going to America. I mean, if that country still exists in 2031, but 2035 in Argentina, that'll be a lot of fun. Buenos Aires, and they have some pretty big stadiums there, so it's not like the problem they have in Wales or in Ireland, where the stadium just lack the stadiums to run the sport at the size that is required for rugby, for World Rugby to make the money that they're looking for, to get the return that they're looking for. Argentina has some pretty big stadiums, and it's a big population, lots of soccer fans they can try to convert over. So yeah, this would be a great idea. This would be awesome to go to Argentina. I think they should have gone to Argentina before the United States, but United States is another market that really wanted to grow as well. Anyway, Super Rugby this weekend, Highlanders Hurricanes, and then Slipper 203 cap, the highest ever. Are we gonna have a viral moment? Everybody running onto the field. Come on, Rugby Australia, have a viral moment when he goes on. I don't think so. Rugby Australia don't know how to run the sport. But he's going to break the all-time record of most amount of Super Rugby games being played. Break that this weekend. I might go down next weekend for the Waratahs game on the Friday just to see. I don't know. It's going to cost me like $400 of fuel to drive down there from Sydney. Like, seriously. But anyway, Enduros on Saturday against the Reds. Moana Pacifica against Crusaders. And finally, Saturday night, the big one, the Waratahs versus the Blues. The Blues, I expect a huge performance from the Waratahs this weekend. Obviously, the Waratahs still has a number of key injuries. Andrew Callaway, Joseph Swali'i, and then, what's his name? Charlie Campbell are all still injured, not available. But the Waratahs, after last week, I think, made some changes. Yeah, still, I thought the Reds' performance, I can see the direction, but I do think that some of the strategies needs to be a little bit honed in and just really get polished and delivered at a better, more accuracy and more clinical deliver, more clarity on what they wanted to do in terms of their strategy, whether it be running with the forwards, whether it be some kicking game, whatever it is. I think they need more clarity and really hone into that against the Blues this weekend. So the Waratahs this weekend against the Blues. For the front rowers, Tom Lambert, unchanged at number 1. Ethan Dubbins coming in number 2. That's a bit changed there. He was Fainga'a was changed for Dublins last week, I think, so he's already in from last week. Daniel Botha coming number 3. Matt Phillip, the captain, number 4. Miles Amatosero, so he added to number 5. He was on the bench last week with Angus Blythe moving back down to the bench. Clement Halaholo comes in at number 6. Jamie Anderson comes in at number 7, ahead of, obviously, Charlie Gamble being injured. At number 8, Pete Samu finishing off the forward pack. We've got Jay Gordon coming in number 9. Some of the kicking game I thought was really good that he did against the Fijian Endurers. Was just out of window again last week. I'm not sure what the direction is going on there. Jack Debrusini was caught up to number 10 last week ahead of Lawson Kreising. I thought Kreising was pretty good. Debrusini was, like I said, I felt there was a lack of ambition at 10 for Debrusini. But yeah, some of you guys big fan of Jack Debrusini, but I really felt like Kreising was looked a little bit more threatening out there. But anyway, they got Debrusini again at number 10. Max Jorgensen, number 11. Joey Walton, number 12. We got Tristan Riley, who did an outstanding job. I think the rush defense was great against the Reds. I just think that the player outside of him needs to stay connected. There was a couple of times where he rushed up and the players outside of him didn't follow through, leaving a gap behind him, sort of thing. I think that he needs to really work with that this week. With Harry Porter back at number 14, that might not be as much of an issue as we saw last week where Harry Porter was off the bench. Sid Harvey gets that number 15 jersey. I think he was the one on the win last week. And they have, what's his name? They had Hendren, James Hendren at 15 last week. So Hendren has been dropped out of the squad for this week. Ioane Moanonu comes in number 16. Number 17, Isaac Halea. Number 18, Siosifa Amon. Finish off the front rowers on the bench. Angus Blythe, the bomb squad man, comes in number 19. Leafy Taina comes in number 20. Teddy Wilson, number 21. Lawson Crichton, number 22. And George Pullman comes in at number 23 as an additional center. Pullman was the one that got called in to replace Swaliki 20 minutes before the Hurricanes game, where he got exploited pretty badly by the Hurricanes in the outside center position. So yeah, yeah, it's gonna be, again, hopefully he's improved for this one. Otherwise, with Beauden Barrett at 10, he's gonna have another tough week if he hasn't, really stepped up his game from that Hurricanes one. So we'll have to watch out for that. For the Blues, there's a big potential debut. I think we might sell out of the stadium of Kiwis because of this. This kid in the middle of the picture, Peyton Spencer, he is the son of King Carlos. King Carlos Spencer's son is going to be off the bench for the Blues, Peyton Spencer. And yeah, this is going to be pretty huge and pretty exciting to see King Carlos' son play for the Blues. Oh boy. I think a lot of the Crusader fans will really be getting nostalgic watching this guy coming into the blue in a Blues jersey. But anyway, for the Blues, their performance last week against Moana Pacifica, despite the scoreline, it was 40 something points to 7. Despite the scoreline, the Blues played pretty poorly last weekend. Lots of mistakes, and it was almost like the Moana Pacifica had a number of tries being denied. They had a red card for 20 minutes, so the Blues wasn't able to deliver much out of the red card, and it was almost like just a couple of really simple mistakes. So the Blues score a bunch of tries out of very, very limited opportunities that was given to them. And yeah, overall, I wasn't very convinced that Beauden Barrett's goal kicking was pretty off as well. So yeah, we'll have to see, and we'll have to see if the Blues going to step up this week. But last weekend, I am not convinced that this was a Blues performance last week. And if they perform like that again this week against the Waratahs, we may have a small chance of winning. I'm calling it. We're going to beat the Blues this week because yeah, Beauden Barrett's over the hill, right? So anyway, let's have a look at the Blues team. Ofa Tuangafasi come in number 1. Bradley Slater number 2. San Matenga number 3. We've got George Beatty number 4. Sam Darrell number 5. Anton Segna number 6. Dalton Papali'i number 7. He's going overseas. Malachi Rampling comes in at number 8. Finlay Christie number 9. Beauden Barrett comes in number 10. He's only 46 caps. He's got more test caps than his play for the Blues. Seriously, at 46, he's got more Test caps than Blues. That's crazy. That's crazy. I thought Bowden would be on like 150 or something. Seriously, that's crazy. Caleb Clark coming 80 Test caps, number 11. Peter Aki coming number 12. AJ Lamb, number 13. Kodemeru Vai, number 14. And Zahn Sullivan, number 50. Oh, we definitely can't beat this Blues team. In the reserves, you got James Mullen, Mason Tupaya, number 17. Marcel Renata, number 18. Che Clark, number 19. What's his name? Is injured. The prop? What's his name? Patrick Tuipulotu's injured. Wasn't there another guy that's injured, or is he just not selected? The Angus, what's his name? Angus Tarval, isn't he? Oh, is he playing for the? Wait, is Tarval playing for the Blues? Or is Tarval playing for the Chiefs? Or Highlanders? Wait. Tarval is back. Anyway, no Tarval. Che Clark, number 19. Torian Barnes, number 20. Taufa Funaki, number 21. Xavi Taile, number 22. Peyton Spencer, number 23, will be replacing Bowden Barrett. Bowden Barrett is going to replace Bowden Barrett. So yeah, really exciting to see that. James Slipper, as we're talking about, is going to break the record this weekend against the Chiefs for 203. Hopefully, I get to see him next week, because there's no way I'm going to go down to this weekend, because it's on the same day. The Brumbies game. It's on the same day as the day before. Ooh, I might be able to go tomorrow. Ooh, should I just go? But then I'm not going to go for the Waratahs. I might just drive there tomorrow for the Brumbies. Should I go? I don't even have a Brumbies jersey. But if I go, I'm not going to be able to do the Waratahs next week. I'll think about it. Anyway, moving on. Crusaders have a number of injuries for this weekend. Rayhana and Kemera are both injured, with a rookie debuting at number 10 this week. Cooper Grant debuting at number 10 this week for the Crusaders as a result of the injuries. For the Reds, there's a few players being rested against Fiji and Jura. Jock Campbell sending for a milestone. It's basically Bakrai, Carter Gordon, and Zach Nongo are all being rested for a still pretty strong team for the Reds to take on the Indura in pretty hot conditions once again, no doubt, in Fiji. And then we've got Augustine Pulu getting suspended for, like I said, he got a red card for coat hanger. What's his name? Didn't the other guy get a red card as well, or was it not a red card? I think maybe that was not a red card. It was another guy who also did a coat hanger tackle. It was the number 10, I think it was. What's his name? I can see his face. What's the other guy's name? But anyway, there was another yellow card, but this guy's definitely got a red for like a coat hanger sort of tackle, and it's suspended for that. Robbie Deans, he's basically the king of, according to people that I spoke to at Christchurch, he's literally like the king of Canterbury, because his family apparently like own like huge chunk of the land at Canterbury, and he just like gave it back to the government or something, and they have like a statue of his dad or something there. Anyway, he's like literally the king of Canterbury. He's going to Harlequin as the coaching consultant, as they're looking to a new coach setup at Twickenham this summer. So so he's a coaching consultant, so he's not actually the head coach. I think they offered the same job to Warren Gatland and he didn't take it. So interesting to see that Robbie Deans is getting some money there. Josh Fluke, he's going to play in Italy for a year at the URC, so at Benetton. So that's kind of fun for him. And then we've got some big signings for Ireland: Bundy Aki, Dan Sheehan, and Gibson Park. Josh Van der Fleer have all signed new deals with the Ireland Rugby Union. And finally, Nārai Sotudu, he's signed with France to Clermont at the top 14. So he's going to be gone for 3 years. So he's one of the promising guys. I really felt could be yeah, could be drawn into the All Black setup. He's just gone. He's not going to be able to. Yeah, wow, just leaking players left and right. Yeah, Jesus. Imagine if Australian rugby. Imagine if the Australian government gave $30 million to New Zealand rugby, and to keep these players playing in Super Rugby instead of. Anyway, let's move on. Thanks for watching. That's pretty much the news this week. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys. I think that's the news this week. I feel like maybe something I missed out. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys this weekend for the reviews. Should I drive to the Brumbies for Slippers game? I think I should. I think I should go to the Brumbies tomorrow. Okay, I think I'm going to drive to. Okay, let's have a look. Wait, how far is it? It's 288 kilometers. Ooh. That's like a full tank of my gas. And full tank of gas is going to cost me $50? No, $200? Ah. Wait, no. It's going to cost me $100 a tank. This is about $2.50, $2. 50-liter tank. It's about 120 bucks. So two ways, so 250 bucks. 250 bucks of fuel. My God, to see Slipper's 203. I think I should go. Anyway, I think I should go. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Cheers.